More than 2,000 years ago, before the rise of a single empire, the boy who would become the first emperor of China lived not as a ruler, but as a hostage. This little boy, Ying Zheng, was sent to the state of Zhao, far from his homeland of Qin. There, though he carried royal blood, he was treated with suspicion and disdain. But in the shadows of hardship, little Ying Zheng found something more precious than power. He found a friend. One day, weakened by hunger and illness, little Ying Zheng wandered outside the city walls of Handan. There, in the hills, he met a village girl gathering herbs. Her name was Afang. She carried a bamboo basket on her back, and her hands were stained with the earth. Seeing little Ying Zheng's pale face, she knelt down and offered him a handful of freshly picked herbs. With care, she prepared a simple remedy to ease his weakness. From that day forward, Afang and Ying Zheng became inseparable. She showed him the quiet streams and green valleys. He, in turn, confided his loneliness, his longing for home. Children at heart, they ran through meadows and laughed beneath the summer sky. Yet, in those innocent games, something deeper grew. One evening, as fireflies danced, Ying Zheng turned to her and said, "When I return to Qin, I will make you my wife." Afang smiled softly, her eyes filled with both joy and doubt. She whispered, "I do not ask for riches. I do not need palaces or crowns. All I wish for is a life together. Just one lifetime. One pair of hearts." Those words etched themselves into Ying Zheng's soul, more lasting than steel or stone. Years passed. Ying Zheng returned to Qin, no longer a boy, but a prince destined to rule. When he finally ascended the throne, he drove his armies against the 6 kingdoms. One by one, Han, Zhao, Yan, Wei, Ku, and Qi all fell. At last, he stood as Qin Shi Huang, first emperor of all under heaven. The world knelt before him, but the promise of 2 children still lingered in his heart. When the dust of war settled, Afang came to the capital, hopeful yet anxious. She saw the boy she once knew, now seated on the dragon throne. Her heart leapt. Surely now their promise could be fulfilled. But the emperor's face was unreadable. His ministers whispered, his generals frowned. How could the Son of Heaven take a wife from Zhao, the land that once held him hostage? How could the ruler of a unified empire marry a village girl, when alliances demanded noble queens and endless concubines? So, with a single sentence, he cut the thread of their fate. She is from Zhao. Double quotes for Afang. Those words were heavier than armies, sharper than swords. The promise they once shared a lifetime, 2 hearts, was broken, not by hatred, but by the weight of empire. She did not weep in public. She did not beg. Instead, she quietly left the palace gates and disappeared into the vast land of Qin. Some said she returned to the countryside, becoming a healer, tending to the sick with her knowledge of herbs. Others whispered that she married a simple farmer, choosing peace over grandeur. But to Ying Zheng, she was gone forever. That the name was not of stone, but of memory. That the emperor, conqueror of the world, had built a palace to honor the woman he had lost. Yet the palace stood empty, a hollow shell of grandeur, like the space in his heart. Qin Shi Huang ruled with iron laws. He united roads, scripts, and measures. He crushed armies and defied death itself. But the one thing he could not conquer was love. For all his power, he lost the only person who asked for nothing but a lifetime, side by side. And so, when history remembers the first emperor, it speaks of greatness and tyranny, But in whispers, in hidden tales, another name survives. Afang, the girl of the hills, the healer, the lost queen of his heart. Thank you for watching.